This is the Phillies Postcast, your instant game reaction for the Philadelphia Phillies. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every day.
Oh my goodness gracious. I wish I was kidding. I wish I wasn't going full-blown rage mode after this game. And I know they just beat the Dodgers last night. We're all excited. We're all having a great time. It was fantastic. And then they lose to the Dodgers today in this, man, Sasaki wasn't even that good tonight, or today. He wasn't even that good today. Phillies bailed him out, literally swinging at pitches in the dirt. And then in the fifth inning, Bryson Stott, who is normally one hell of a heads-up base runner, a smart base runner, takes off for second base. Now, I'm going to keep my eye on social media throughout the postcast tonight, just seeing if Rob Thompson either takes responsibility for it or says, no, Stott was going on his own there, trying to make something happen, or I was trying to make something happen as the manager, trying to get some action going here. I don't know what it is with the Phillies. But when Kyle Schwarber is at the plate, trying my darndest not to overmodulate the microphone here. Deep breath, deep breath. When Kyle Schwarber's at the plate, do less. You don't need to do anything. Kyle Schwarber's at the plate with runners in scoring position, whether it's Brandon Marsh being sent from first to second with runners in the corners. You don't need to send anybody. You don't need to do that Bush League, Little League, attempted a double steal to get a run home. Kyle Schwarber will take care of it. Whether it's that situation or it's the situation today with runners at the corners, one out, and Bryson Stott on first base and JT Realmuto at third, do less. You don't need action. You don't need to get the runners going. Bryson Stott runs well enough where you don't need to get him going in order to get from first to third on many situations. He can do it on his own. There is nothing to be gained if it's Bryson Stott thinking, hey, let me get something going here. Or if it's Rob Thompson being like, hey, get something going here. Either way, it's dumb. It's dumb if Bryson Stott is taking off on his own, and it's dumber if the guy in the dugout who's only paid to think thinks so off. It is just ludicrous. It's dumb and then dumber and then really ludicrous is what it is. I watched that play happen in the fifth inning. By the way, welcome to the show. This is Locked On Phillies Postcast. I'm Mark Farzetta. It's beyond me to watch that all unfold. And I went back right away as soon as, because I wanted to see if Bryson Stott was going. Tom McCarthy I watched the local broadcast. I didn't watch FS1, but I'm watching the local broadcast and I'm listening to it, and I hear Tom McCarthy go, and Stott goes, runners going, and I'm like, why? Why would he be okay? Line drive, softly hit fly ball, softly hit line drive, whatever to Oscar Hernandez in right field. And I'm watching it, and as I'm watching them cut from the batter's eye to the overhead view of watching the ball fly over to right field, I see Bryson Stott run out of the shot a little bit. It looks like he stopped. And then I'm like, if he's stopping in that situation, then why didn't he make it back to first base? Did he slip? Like, he realized the ball was hit over his head, so stop running. Like, to all the little leaguers out there, you know that you just stop running. So then they go to break, they come back, and somebody told me that when they were going to break, I didn't see it, but when they went to break, Rob Thompson looked upset. Like, I don't know. Rob Thompson's got a good poker face. I give him that. I give him credit for that. But anyway, they come back from break. They show the overhead view from the first baseline that has the clear view of Schwarber swinging and Bryson Stott taking off on the pitch, and he takes off on the pitch. It looked like he took a step or two too much, too many, and didn't just throw on the brakes once the ball was hit in the air. Once the ball is hit in the air, again, to all the young kids, you stop running. He looked like he had his head down and running, looked, ball in the air, watches it, or at least looks to the right fielder, takes a couple more steps, and then books it to go back home. But by then, he's dead to rights. Forget about it. It's not happening. Now, all in all, could he have paid better attention? Yeah, he could have. But that's not the problem. The problem is he was going on a pitch he shouldn't have been going on. So whoever idea that was, that's dumb. That's a dumb idea to have. That's a bad thought. Once that thought comes into your brain, just be like, man, that was dumb. I'm glad we didn't do that. And oh my goodness, great! It is infuriating. And this is just a big fat cherry on top of a horrible offensive Sunday. That's what this is. And I know it's Saturday, but Sunday, but the ice cream. And the amount of pitches that I saw Nick Castellanos swing at in the dirt. Bryce Harper works a walk. The next two guys, Bohm and Kepler, both are flailing away at first pitches. Why? Now, look, I'm not the guy that's like, oh, never swing at the first pitch. No, there are times where, and I've talked about it with Bohm before, he's an aggressive hitter. That's when he gets a lot of his hits. He jumps on early counts, and that's fine. But if a bullpen guy is in the game at this point, and specifically speaking, this is in the – let's see if I can get this right for you guys. Was it Turner? No, it was Harper. I'm sorry. I think it was still Sasaki in the game. So Bryce Harper works a walk. Yeah, fourth inning. This was early in the game. Fourth inning. Bryce Harper works a walk, leadoff man on. Bohm steps up there, jumps on a first pitch, flies out to right field. Max Kepler steps up there, jumps on a first pitch, and lines out to center. So he flies out to center field. Then Castellanos comes up and he flails away at an 0-2 splitter in the dirt, and then flails away at another splitter in the dirt to get set down on strikes. I'll go in rage mode when it comes to swinging at the first pitch when the guy that leads off the inning draws a walk. You're helping the pitcher out when he might be losing his arm slot. He might be willing to offer, junk pitches here that you could put a little bit more pressure on him and wait for him to make the mistake. If you're going to guess at a first pitch fastball, then you can't just miss a first pitch fastball. It's already happened too many times throughout the season. And it's already happened too many times. We're talking about game 8 of the regular season. It's already happened too many times to the point where it reminds me of what happened last year. And I'm watching the Phillies do this time and time again throughout the game, and they're giving Sasaki so many outs. They're giving him so many opportunities to just, if you're going to guess, you got to guess right. And if you're going to swing, you got to make contact, whether that's Alec Bohm, whether that's Max Kepler, or whether that's Bryce Harper, because Bryce Harper today, he did work that walk. Hallelujah, he worked a walk, okay? But, oh, my goodness gracious, when I see Bryce Harper swinging away at 97-mile-per-hour fastballs that are in the middle of the plate, just above the knees, and he is swinging at these pitches and missing these pitches or fouling them away, those are the balls that you got to look at if you're Bryce Harper and say, that ball's got to be in the second deck in right field. There is no way he should be missing those pitches. This is your MVP. This is your marquee player. This is the face of the franchise right now. He cannot be missing those pitches. Those are gimmies in games like this against a team like the Dodgers. And don't tell me for a second, you can't be as excited as many of us were, including myself last night, and then not be pissed off when you watch the Phillies play as dumb as they played today. Horrible at bats. No patience whatsoever. I understand you're going to be an aggressive team at times. When the pitcher is throwing up the red flags, being like, I might not have it this inning, don't bail him out. And especially with Bryson Stott. And then speaking of which, I didn't look over at social media. I'm going to see if anybody puts anything out there regarding Rob Thompson taking responsibility for it, or whether or not Rob Thompson said, yeah, no, that wasn't called. That was on Stott. I would doubt he would say that. But in the meantime, I'm just going to keep my eyes glued to social media and see if anybody says anything about it. And to this point, so far, nope. Nobody said anything. I don't even know if Topper's spoken yet, but just full-blown rage mode as far as the Phillies going today. This is Locked On Phillies postcast on the Locked On Locked On Phillies YouTube channel. Make sure you like and subscribe. I usually have a much more nicer personality than I do on this particular postcast, but you're getting me in the moment. Aaron Nola. Aaron Nola. So we're just going to give him home runs this year? That's what we're going to do with Aaron Nola? Look, 7 hits is a lot of hits. 3 runs is not a lot of runs. That's about what you expect when you face Aaron Nola. 2 home runs is about what you expect from Aaron Nola. The 2 home runs obviously came back to bite him in the behind. His club gave him the early lead. Again, the Phillies are able to score a run in the first inning, this time on a ground out by Alec Bohm. Bringing home, I think it was Kyle Schwarber that actually scored. Yeah, Kyle Schwarber was brought in from third on that after Bryce Harper struck out on a splitter. Alec Bohm brought him home with a 1-out grounder to second base. That scored the run. We gave the Phillies a 1-0 lead. Kepler then stepped up there and grounded out to second to end the inning. And then Right away. Gives up a 2-run home run to Kike Hernandez, a first pitch knuckle curve that was just not down in the zone enough. Not down in the zone nearly enough. Gives the lead back to the Dodgers there, 2-1 in the second inning. Then Castellanos steps up in the second inning. He lines out to right field. A fastball he hit on the screws. JT Realmuto then stepped up next in that second inning, bottom of the second inning. He hit one on the screws. And at this point, I'm thinking the Phillies seem to have Sasaki timed pretty well. This could be a good offensive game for the Phillies. Hey, remember earlier when I was talking about dumb thoughts? That dumb thought ran in and out of my brain rather quickly, unlike whatever Rob Thompson and Bryson Stott were thinking in that fifth inning. But anyway, I digress. Then in the third inning, Ohtani works a walk on Aaron Nola. Bit of a bad call. Nola got squeezed on that, but, it is what it is. Betts steps up there. He gets the single. It goes from an 0-2 count to a 3-2 count, so he loses them. He got first and second with nobody out. They get Teoscar Hernandez to ground with a 6-4-3 double play. Things are looking good, and Conforto flies out to center field on a 3-2 fastball that was warning track power. But bottom line, Aaron Nola got out of that inning. Fourth inning, Phillies, again, that's when they had the leadoff walk by Bryce Harper, and then Bohm and Kepler go down, each swinging at the first pitch. Castellanos chases the 0-1 splitter in the dirt and then strikes out the splitter that bounced into the mitt of who was behind the plate today? Was it Mitt? It wasn't Smith, was it? I can't even remember. I'm blind with rage. Fifth inning, Phillies had another opportunity when JT Realmuto led off the fifth inning with an 8-pitch at bat, worked a walk. Stott got the single, and that's when all hell broke loose, unfortunately. When Teoscar Hernandez doubled off Bryson Stott. Would have been the game-tying run in that fifth inning. I don't think I mentioned that. Would have been the game-tying run with that fifth inning. And you know what? Let's just get it in here. This, without question, was the turning point.
Time to reveal where the game was won or lost. It's the turning point.
Yeah, obviously it was when Bryson Stott got thrown out at first base when he got doubled up. That was without question the turning point.
This is the Locked On Player of the Game.
I'm absolutely not going to give the Locked On Player of the Game to a Dodger. So, the player of the game can also be a negative. It doesn't mean because you're the player of the game. They won because of you. It can also mean they maybe lost because of you. And Bryson Stott on that play, even if that's what was called, the minute there's contact and the ball's in the air, dude, first off, if you're going on contact, it can't just be put your head down and run. There's not 2 outs. There's 1 out. Kyle Schwarber, again, to reiterate the way I started the show, Kyle Schwarber can do enough on his own. You don't need action on the base paths, Topper, you don't need to get that going. Stott, you don't need to get that going. You just let Kyle Schwarber handle it. And Bryson Stott, that kind of killed all momentum in the game. And not that look, the Phillies went down. This was great. The Phillies went down. They got a hit. They got an infield single there from Bryce Harper in the bottom of the 9th inning. And then they went down on the double play. And then they went down when the Kepler, I think, did he fly out? I forget what he did. But 3 pitches in that 9th inning. I even posted it right before we started the show. That's exactly how that game should have ended. All right, when we come back, we'll talk about what you guys are going to talk about tomorrow. This is Locked On Phillies Postcast. Make sure you guys hit like and subscribe on Locked On Phillies YouTube channel. I'm Mark Farzetta. Connor Thomas has you each and every day for your Locked On Phillies daily podcast. I have you right here for Locked On Phillies Postcast after each and every game. Back after this. SupplyHouse.com. SupplyHouse.com. Get the supplies you need from the site made for the skilled trades. Supply House. Whether you're plumbing, HVAC, or electrical work, whatever it might be, Supply House is a reliable way to order products online. Their easy-to-use website is packed with helpful resources and the latest product info to help you get the job done right. Plus, a complete inventory of over 200,000 parts from over 400-plus top brands. You'll finally find exactly what you're looking for in an easy way with fast delivery from coast to coast. Need help with an order? Supply House offers expert support and industry-leading service, so you'll always talk to a real person. And for the trade professionals looking for an extra edge, how about their free Trade Master program? Offers exclusive perks like a dedicated phone line, free shipping, and discounts on every order. Thousands of skilled professionals are already taking advantage. Now it's your turn. So join the Trade Master program today at supplyhouse.com/TM. That's supplyhouse.com/TM. And start ordering plumbing, HVAC, and electrical supplies with just a few clicks. Plus, use promo code SH5. That's SH5 for 5% off your first order at supplyhouse.com. There we go. That's the right button. Game Time app. Hey, you want to go to a Phillies game and boo the heck out of them? Game Time will get you in there at a great discounted rate too. 20% off your first order when you use promo code LOCKEDONMLB. That's Locked On MLB. But it's not just for that. It's also for when the Phillies are getting hot. You know what I mean? It'll be for that too. And the Phillies will go out there and be great right in front of you with the Game Time app, the official ticketing partner of Locked On Phillies Postcast. They're coming up. And they're just fantastic. I recently grabbed some last-minute tickets for some family members of mine. Game Time had unbeatable prices. And then you can also take advantage of the Game Time Picks feature, which allows you to filter out all the fluff on the Game Time app. You get right down to it. The best seats at the best prices with the Game Time Picks feature on the Game Time app. So what could be better than that? Nothing. You can also view your seat before you buy it so you know exactly what you're buying. You take the guesswork out of buying tickets. So again, create an account. Use promo code LOCKEDONMLB. That's LOCKEDON for $20 off your first purchase on the Game Time app. Download the Game Time app today. Terms apply. Before we go any further,
This is what you'll be talking about.
yeah, you'll be talking about Bryson Stott. That's what you'll be talking about. Okay. James, shout out James, much appreciated. I'm going to go ahead and like that on X, Twitter, whatever. I'm going to go like it on that. Thank you, James. James is telling us that Topper said it was a hit and run, just bad luck, not bad base running by Stott. So then Topper takes responsibility for a stupid call. There's no reason. When you have Kyle Schwarber at the plate and all you need is a long fly ball, why am I going to send anybody from first base? Why am I putting a hit and run on? Why am I going to do that? What is to be gained by that? What is to win? Like if you had, I mean, it's just stupid because you have one out. You have one. The only thing that kills you there, if he puts that ball in the air, is getting doubled off first base. That's exactly what happened. I just don't get it. Because the other option is, what if Kyle Schwarber, swings and misses at that? I got to see how many. I don't know. I don't remember what the count was when he did it. But for me, that's just bad, dumb baseball. That's on Topper then. If he's not just covering for Stott, it's either way you look at it, it's just dumb. There's no good that comes from that. A one-run ball game. You got the game tying run on on third base. You have your best power hitter at the dish, one of your hottest hitters so far in this young season, and the only way you can mess it up is by trying to do too much. Again, do less. When Kyle Schwarber's at the plate, do less. I can go back to the situation with the runners at the corners of Brandon Marsh trying to get caught in that Bush League rundown, or Bryson Stott trying to take second base with the hit and run there. Just plain dumb baseball. I didn't mark the count in my notes, but I'll go to it quickly. Bing, bang, boom. Oh, it was a full count. Yeah, it's a full count. So he strikes out. Maybe you got to strike him out, throw him out. Trying to do too much there. Trying to do way too much. Let's get into the chat check portion of the show. See how you wonderful people are doing after this horrendous loss by the Phillies. Bam Man 100 realized the Dodgers have great pitching staff, but man, that was a lifeless performance by the Phillies. That's a great word to use, lifeless. Evelyn, hello. Where was the offense? Hope Rojas plays tomorrow. Marsh stinks. How about Mundo Sosa playing a little center field today? Love to see it. Bam Man also feels like Bohm is trying to force himself into a rhythm. He's just always been aggressive. This is the ebbs and flows of Alec Bohm, but I just don't understand Harper getting walked, missing on fastballs during that at bat, or plate appearance, and then you come up next and you're hacking at the first pitch. That's when I go in rage mode. When I see, the one I forgot, I ripped into Trey Turner, or excuse me, I ripped into Nick Castellanos for swinging at pitches in the dirt. How about your boy Trey Turner in the 8th inning? Stott led off that inning against Vesia with a strikeout on a slider. Sosa struck out. Schwarber gets hit by a pitch on a 1-2 count, so gets bailed out there. Trey Turner comes up there, and he's swinging it, literally, a ball in the dirt that bounced into the catcher's mitt. Make it make sense for me, please. Make it make sense. Barnes was behind the dish today, not Will Smith. Austin Barnes was behind the plate. That's who it was. So, yeah. All right, we'll keep going with that. Christopher Michael. Oh, wait, I didn't read yours. Ryan, I'm sorry. Pat Ryan, I'm sorry. Stott getting double up killed. Any potential rally. Offense had to deal with a nasty pitcher today, but we got to be better. Yeah, you got to be better. Absolutely. Christopher Michael, hello. Bohm is already driving me crazy. 0 for 4, possibly seen 4 pitches. Offense is definitely slumping again in general. 3 runs yesterday, 1 run today. No bueno. Jess Patrick, underwhelmed I am by an underperforming offense. That's a good way to put it. Evelyn, love the thumbnail, Farzy. Thank you. Gary G, what's going on? I predicted Nola would surrender 3 homers before the game started. I was off by 1. Well, he did give up 3 runs, so there you go. Ray Amato, hello. Pat Ryan. Oh, this must have been when I was hitting my stride. Thank you, Pat. Preach, Farzy. Thank you. Crazy. Sigh. Catholic Nono? Hey, wait. Quesadich. This is prime example of too many shows talking about games. The overreaction is bad. Let me explain something. We react to each game. How do you what do you do? You do like what do you like? Here's what I love about City of Philadelphia. City of Philadelphia, generally speaking, does not ever go, well, get them tomorrow. No, we react to the moment, to the game. Did you watch good baseball today, or did you watch bad baseball today? Simple as that. I watched awful baseball today. I watched the Phillies lose a winnable game. A very winnable game. Smarter base running, and I'm including calling a hit and run there as well. Smarter managing, and a little bit of patience at the plate. These games count the same as they do in September. Let's not forget that. So overreaction to this game, appropriate reaction to this game. The overreaction, here's the overreaction, because this drives me crazy when I read comments, especially after the show, because generally we don't get comments like this during the show. But after the show, people are like, oh, it's just one game. Yeah, it's just one game. I understand that, but that's what I'm talking about. I'm talking about that one game. And it's not an overreaction to react to this game. The overreaction would be like, the Phillies lost 3-1 to the Dodgers, and now they're not going to the World Series. This team sucks. They're not even going to make the playoffs. That's an overreaction. This team is better than what we saw today. Just as an overreaction would also be the Phillies beating the Dodgers yesterday and saying, oh, they beat the Dodgers. They're going to the World Series. No, that's not how it works. That's the overreaction. The Catholic, no, Metaspiace. All right. Go Sixers. Farzy, I'm pissed off. Nothing has changed with the daycare. Well, the daycare's gotten older. That part's changed. Wait, what? Liverpool. Go Sixers. Enjoy that. Oh my God, Jeremy, you're right. Still a quality start. You're right. It was still a quality start from Aaron Nola. That's why I look at more the base. That's why I look at the offense more than I look at Nola today. That's why I had Nola as the thumbnail, but I'm like, it doesn't really. That's not the face of the loss today. The face of the loss today is Bryson Stott. Even if it wasn't his fault, he was in on the play. Still went away. He's whining about Stott. That's hilarious. Go Sixers, bringing one back from last year. Tinker Topper at it again. Thank you very much, Go Sixers. I appreciate that very much. Sorry, you're wrong. Okay, Chris Mauer, sorry, you're wrong. Hit and run equals you have the lead. If that ball drops, it also takes the ground of the double play off, or you get doubled off. Like, how could you say, yeah, fine, grounded a double play, but a double play is still very much possible because you're going. And again, Kyle Schwarber's at the plate. You need 1 run to tie that game. That's it. Kyle Schwarber at the plate. I'm just going to let him do his thing. It doesn't make any sense. You don't need to do any. Look, generally speaking, this is why baseball, there's a billion chapters to just one little thing. But in this situation, it depends on who's at the plate. If you have Kyle Schwarber at the plate, and especially if it's a full count, I'm not sending the runner in that situation. I'm going to let Kyle, I have my best hitter. Oh, have at it, Kyle. That's what I'm doing. And it bit the Phillies in the behind. But generally speaking, if you're going by just the book in general, yes, you're right. But in this situation with Kyle Schwarber up, I'm not sending him. Anyway, hey, I don't know what you guys are doing the rest of this night, but you know what I'm doing the rest of this night? I got to watch the Sixers because I got to do a Locked On Sixers postcast. Now, if you want to see an overreaction, it won't happen there. It will be right on the money because we know what the Sixers are. We're in on the joke, right? Anyway, make sure you guys like and subscribe to Locked On Phillies YouTube channel. Make sure you guys are following Connor Thomas each and every day for his Locked On Phillies podcast, daily podcast. And make sure you guys got me as well, especially tomorrow after the Phillies and Dodgers wrap up this series tomorrow. 1:35 start time at Citizens Bank Park. Phillies go for their series win over the Dodgers in South Philadelphia. I'll be right here on Locked On Phillies YouTube channel. Make sure you guys like and subscribe. Thanks, everybody in the chat. You guys are awesome. All of you. Much appreciated. Thank you very much. Have a great rest of your day, everybody. As for me, I'll be watching the Sixers. So here's where you guys know you'll be having a better night than me. Have a great night. See you guys. Bye.